Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the first of 3 matches for the quarterfinals today on this Saturday. It's going to be exciting. This first one, Chiefs versus WARATAHS, a matchup that we did get to see earlier on in the Super Rugby Pacific season, and we do get to see it again, and it is more important now than it ever has been. Whoever wins this game, I believe, goes on to face the Crusaders, so not an easy challenge for your semi-final, but at the end of the day, get into the semi-final is prestigious just on its own. But I'm hoping that both of these sides bring their A game for this matchup. Do let me know who you think will be winning this contest, ladies and gentlemen, as kickoff is only a few minutes away, which is going to be very exciting news indeed. Looking through at the starting lineups for both of these sides, we will first of all start with the home side, the Chiefs, as we are at FMG Stadium. That is the Waratahs. So Chiefs, there we go. We got them now. It is Aiden Ross, Samason Takiaho, and Angus Tarval, then Brody Retallick and Tupavai as the two locks. Samapeni Finau, Luke Jacobson, and Peter Gus Sawakula in the loose forward trio. Bryn Gatlin, he will be starting at number 10 with Brad Weber as his scrum half. Quintupai, Alex Nankerville, Jonah Lowe, Atenoi Nana Satoro, and Amoni Narawa. That is the Chiefs lineup now. Looking through quickly at the Waratahs. Like I mentioned, this game only a couple minutes away, which does mean we are just about to get into the action. But Angus Bell, Dave Parecki, and Harry Johnson Holmes returns to make his way into the starting lineup. Jed Holloway and Ned Hannigan, as the two locks. And then Charlie Gamble, Michael Hooper, and then also alongside that, you have got Will Harris starting at number 8, Jake Gordon, Tane Emmett, Lalakai Faketi, Alex Newsom, Dylan Peach, Mark Nawakwanitawasi, and then Ben Donaldson there at number 15. But both of these sides inside of the top 8, and that is why they are here at the quarterfinals. And hey, Johnny, and also afternoon, Kiwi Lads, says Nathan, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well, bro. Dalton and Blackadder are injured. How do the ABs look versus the Irish? Yeah, so it's actually a bit slim, I guess you could say, for that number 7 jersey. But then you've still got, Sam Cane, I know that he's sick currently, but he should be all right by the time we get into that Irish tour. So you probably got Sam Cane as one of your 7s. And then maybe Tom Christie or Billy Harmon might get that opportunity if we haven't got anyone else who can go there, unless they try and transfer a Kiriwani into a number 7 role just for a kind of short snippet. But yeah, not ideal for the All Blacks losing most of these 7s just before getting into it. Greetings from Malaysia, says mate Troy. Welcome in, mate. And let's have a great match. Fair and rugged, intelligent play, and also best young Lucy prop in the Southern Hemisphere. Angus Bell, and also good luck both sides. And Hamish, I would like Chiefs to win, please. Thank you, bro. Says Justin Miller. I will try my best to get in the ear of Nick Berry and tell him that the Chiefs are supposed to win this one at FMG Stadium. But the first of 3 games that are taking place, the other matches, it is going to be the Blues taking on the Highlanders. That is kicking off at 7:05. And I have actually got a guest for that live stream. And then the last live stream, we have got 9:45. And that will be Brumbies taking on Hurricanes. And then the URC actually starts up pretty much straight after that. So we will be covering that as well. And hello, Amish. Says John. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Michael Hooper, he will be hoping to do well at the end of this game and possibly move his way through to a semi-final fixture. But the Chiefs will be kicking off from left to right. And the second quarterfinal is now underway, taken nicely by Ben Donaldson inside of the 22 here for the Waratahs. And it's good to see Brody Retallick back, because at the end of the day, the All Blacks are going to need all of the stocks that they can get heading into their series up against the Irish. A nice day, which city you're on. And also the sand face from Sebastian there. Assume that is to do with the cricket, maybe, Sebastian. But yeah, it's not ideal. Well, it's ideal for New Zealand, but it's not ideal for England, because they were in the box seat and then it's just kind of gone upside down, I guess is the best way of describing it. It was a very good partnership, but I am hoping it still makes it later on in the test match and England are able to bat for a long time. And they're taken nicely by Samapeni Finau, now 40 metres out. Brad Weber goes back to Quintupai, a bit of crash ball, but Dave Parecki able to take him down low. Weber now offloading it. I got to try disallowed. And also, hello, good to see you all tonight. And afternoon, Justin and John. And now currently hanging on to that. And also, Sebastian, my brother, says that Johnny long and strong. Now Weber goes off to Gatlin. And Moni Narawa joining up with the line. He is playing fullback for this game, but he can't really slot in anywhere in that back line that they do need him. Weber back to Samapeni Finau. He's had his ankles taken out low. Now Michael Hooper straight over the ball. He's given away the advantage and the penalty, though. Okay, so it is going to be the 3 points. Michael Hooper, he was just right there in the breakdown. Both lads will get a century, but fair play to them. They've been batting fantastically. Big love, Johnny. Says Sebastian there. Yeah, to be honest, it's always the first session makes me think I know what's going to happen in the day, and then the opposite happens in the day type thing. Like, I didn't expect when we saw that New Zealand lost so many wickets on day one that they were then going to be able to get England 7 down in the process as well. And then today, or yesterday, in fact, it was, I didn't expect New Zealand, after losing about 3 quick wickets, to then have a massive partnership for the next one and just kind of carry them through. Because I saw that Devon Conway, I think he went out relatively quickly after the live stream, and I thought, okay, and then, yeah, the partnership just started building. I'm very nervous for this game. The games are to come. I love this game, says Justin there. And also, tough it out, Chiefs, says Brent. And it looks like Brent Gatlin might be able to add 3 points onto the Chiefs tally in the very early stages of this game. I will quickly go like this while he's taking the kick. Gatlin's been able to convert that one, so now it makes the score 3-0. I'm not feeling too hay fevery today, which is kind of good. Which I know it's probably hard to tell, the fact that I have already had to do that, but I think I should be good for almost the rest of the first half now. So I may have seen the worst ref ever, says Paddy Wagon there. The worst ref ever. Are we talking NRL or are we talking Super Rugby, or what's the go? And I hope the Tahs win, says Xavier Brown. It would be great to see at least one Australian side through to the semi-final. Just to, that was close to charge down. It's gone into touch. It looks like Michael Hooper is getting right up in the face of the Chiefs at the moment, which is great to see, because that's that fiery spirit that the Waratahs are going to need to be able to go on and get themselves a win here. And there's plenty of firepower in the order. Colin and Kyle are genuine all-rounders, and some runs from the bowlers. And also, where did New Zealand finish in the test against England, brother? What was the score and for how many wickets? Says Justin. So I know that it was, that's a big shot from Angus Bell. Brilliantly done. I'm going to get the exact score for you, because I know approximately what it was, but I want to make sure that I do give you the right number. Straight over the ball for Quinn. Tupaia wins the penalty as well, and the breakdown. Very nicely done. And also watching from Las Vegas, USA as well, says Nikki. So welcome back, mate. Hope you are doing well. And pork chops, broccoli, tomato, potatoes for dinner, and listen to you, says Brett. Geez, that sounds all right. Can I come over for dinner, if that's all right? I don't know whereabouts you are in the world, I've just realized, so it might be quite a long plane flight, depending on whereabouts. But at the moment, in the cricket, the Kiwis, one moment, they are sitting at 236 for 4, and they were about 50 for 4 or something like that. I want to hear a story from of a ref that did my team's game today. Says Paddy, yeah, go on. And okay, don't ignore, says Paddy. There as well. And also we have got there Hekia, Vering Mihi, everyone for supporting the Chiefs, man, and also I'm in Hamilton. And there says Brent, that's going to be the penalty now to the Chiefs once again after the line out. Very nicely done, Ned Hannigan. Not too happy with that one, but the Chiefs at the moment, the penalties have been going their way. Hi, Betty, says FHI. Also we got there true, says Nathan, playing the man in the air, and also we keep dropping them. And are the Waratahs overrated, says Hex? I don't think so. Because when you think about it, they've gone from last season of not winning a single game to now making it to a quarterfinal, and they didn't even qualify as the lowest ranked team. They qualified, I believe it was actually maybe 6th. So it's actually pretty incredible how quickly the improvements happen. But Brad Weber, now he scored the try, and he's gone over. And Brad Weber, he's just used that acceleration that the man has got. The thing is, people don't realise how quick he is when he gets going. And he has just scored the first try of the match for the Chiefs. Probably Brumbies are going to go to the semi. Says more cake there. And also sounds like a run-of-the-mill unhealthy dinner. But you decide to have broccoli to trick yourself into thinking it's all right. Says Sebastian. But that is a try straight away for the Chiefs. Brad Weber just backs himself. Be able to go over the line, and we will add him to the try scorers list, which might get relatively long for this match, as we've already had a try in the first few moments of this match as well. Go like this. It's Brad Weber, to score himself yet another try. I tell you what, he's fighting for that halfback role at the moment. I know that it's going to be Smith, but it's whether or not it's Weber or Perenara who gets the nod as the second choice at the stage. And also Brad Weber, says Louis, and also, yep, Lady Chiefs, I can hop on the try line, and also it's a very good point. Let's go Chiefs, says Justin. And also we have got there the Brumbies will be so heated after 3 losses. And also I'm loaded up on the field with 3 people trying to tackle me. And also Hawke's Bay Power. Says Sebastian there as well. Brad Weber, sorry. It was relatively tricky to get that ball down initially. But in the end, he was able to get it there. And also Waratahs are shell-shocked. Says just a nice kick downfield from Bryn Gatlin. Has gone into touch today. My team scored a try to go in front 29 or 24-19. But there was pretty much, there was late pretty much a clothesline, which was a yellow, if not red. The ref didn't even give a penalty try or card. And then the other team scores. I say, do you know whether or not the referee was it like a, because it depends on the age group, doesn't it? Whether or not it is a referee assigned by, I guess, the rugby board rather than like normally it's a parent ref, isn't it? But I think at your age group, it is not. I think it is actually a referee slightly qualified, isn't it? Now, Bell goes back across. Ben Donaldson goes for the grubber in behind. Dylan Page waits for it. It's a sensational finish. And now the Waratahs strike back within about 2 minutes. And Dylan Peach, there we go. And also, what was Brad Weber playing? Paying first try TAB. He probably, I would think, was around that maybe $15 mark, somewhere around there. Normally for a halfback, that's just a guess. Oh, that's a brilliant try for Dylan Peach. We'll go like that. Waratahs try scorers. And Dylan, tell you what, they were pretty happy with that one in the coaching box, that is for sure. But as you would be, 8 minutes into this game, and the Waratahs now getting themselves a little bit closer back into this contest. And the Chiefs, just as they thought, right, we're good. Now, not so much. Yeah, about $15 for the wheel try. Says John, and also Paddy unlucky or robbed. And there says Justin, and also we have got the who do you see winning the Bunnies NPC this year. For me, it's between Tasman and Hawke's Bay. I think you're reading my mind there. Because, although I'm going to, I want to throw Auckland in there, but the problem with Auckland is when they're full strength, like they're very hard to beat. Same with the Blues. But when they're not full strength, they have a few gaps. So I think Tasman, Hawke's Bay are good shouts. And then I'd say third, maybe the chance of an Auckland. And there I say, and also go Jonah. There's Nathan, but that one's gone over. And now the score is going to be 10 points to 7. And I discovered a new amazing biscuit chocolate covered Oreo. And this is Justin. Does sound all right, doesn't it? And this Club Rugby, so they are signed to the board. So here's Paddy Wagon, and also I don't think the Canes will be enough to beat the Brumbies at home. So here's Hex. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Definitely coming off that loss last week. In fact, both of these sides coming off losses when you think about it for the Brumbies Hurricanes. So Hurricanes, they ended up losing to the Western Force. Brumbies, they lost to Moana Pacifica. So I guess it's the question of who can bounce back better. Dane Emmett inside of his 22 kicks it downfield, taken nicely 40 metres out from the line by Gatlin. Now Summer Penny Finau gets some speed going. Straight to the halfway line now. Bring Gatlin off to Peter Gusso. Akula dragged down by Lalakai Fakiri, and they'll be missing Isaiah Parisi in the midfield for the Waratahs at this stage. Now, nice backline movement, but a step in from Etena Nana Satori, the man who has been on many defenders, but he didn't really get that much game time for the last little while. And also, we have got there, what format do they go with this year? Is it still Premiership and Championship? Because I think Taranaki will be a good shout as well. I think they've actually changed the system. If I'm not wrong, one moment. We'll go like this. He was dragged down for 10 minutes out from the line. That was the worst time for the Waratahs to have a counter-attack. But Noah Konenawasi had a brilliant run, although now the Chiefs have been able to turn it back over. But it's pretty much, they've got it split into two. I think it's split into two groups, but it's not Premiership and Championship. So everyone's fighting for the same championship this year, I believe. And it's kind of randomly, or either randomly or seeded pools. One moment, I'm going to have a look, because I know that they've changed it up quite a bit this year compared to last year. And also we have got there is Coke on that tissue. I mean, I know it's got aloe vera, if that's what you're talking about, or vitamin E. Bit fancy for a tissue, really. So the tables It's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13 in the odds pools, and then there's an evens pools as well. So that's got Tasman, Canterbury, Auckland, Taranaki, Manawatu, North Harbour, and Northland. That's a good pool because that's got a few big names in there. And then on the other side of things, maybe Waikato, Wellington, and Hawke's Bay are those three top dogs. You'd have to say a good shot there. But yeah, it's pretty much done as odds from last year, evens from last year. And then you get yourself kind of bouncing up. Oh, is Peter Gus-Sowakula all right? Yes, he is. Okay. I was going to say, if we lose Peter Gus-Sowakula as well, that is another one of our loose forwards who might be going downhill, or more like one of the players in the team who wanted the ref to win. And also, what a shocking ref's got a feel for the boys. Here's Nathan down. Brad Weaver scored 3 tries to Ranfurly Shield 2015 against the Hawke's Bay. And also, we have got a little bit earlier on, I think I missed out. I don't think the margin will be as big as the last match they played, though. Yeah, that last game, it had a lot more of a split, didn't it? Was it? The Brumbies win against the Hurricanes last time. They did, didn't they? Was it a Sunday fixture? Periki throws it in, though. Taken nicely by Holloway. It would be good if they could split them into North Island and South Island. There are too many teams in the north compared to the south, says Sebastian. Yeah, how many teams do we have? So we've got Tasman, Canterbury, Otago, Southland. Yeah. They're a bit small, wouldn't it? I mean, I wonder whether or not they'd ever look at adding a side for the West Coast or kind of somewhere around there. Eventually, if they want to make it like a 16-team competition, seeing as they've got a current 14-team competition, but I think it's done off provinces, isn't it? That's going to be now going into touch, so it is now going to be going out. And Tupavai, they are showing that, man. He will certainly be hoping to avoid injury. That is literally what will be on every player's mind, other than the finals. The last thing that you've got, it's literally, am I going to be match fit just in case I get that All Blacks call up? G'day, Ham, you following the England versus New Zealand test? I am indeed. We did that first session yesterday, which looked like it was going downhill for the Kiwis, and then like the partnership between Mitchell and Blundell just, I guess, blossomed really, and they got themselves a huge amount of runs. And also, it was bad. He could have broken his neck, says Paddy Wagon, and also 42-25 to the Canes on Sunday, says Hex. Yeah, see, I don't think it's going to be that one-sided for the matchup. That was a big fend from Angus Bell. I still remember watching the Warriors lose to the refs so many times, and also, but most of New Zealand lives in the North Island. No, there's a big V8 show. Yeah, so there is quite a few of the. I mean, that's the thing when you look at the All Blacks. I love watching that North versus South game over and over again because you got that kind of split of players who were brought up in a certain region, and then they kind of changed. That's another penalty, and that will be against Luke Jacobson. Man off the ball penalty, and now the Waratahs, they might be able to add another 3 points here and make themselves back to 10 all. Not the easiest kick, though. Tane Edmund, is he going to back himself? It was a good tackle from Hannigan initially, but then from there, Luke Jacobson before he quite had that one, did end up coming around the side. He couldn't quite believe it. That's the thing. I love watching the players' stumped faces when you end up seeing, like, pretty much when they think that they've done nothing wrong. Like we saw the look from Michael Hooper earlier on today, that pretty much you think, what? How does that happen? And also interesting decision, says Justin on a high, says Amelia, welcome in to the Brumbies. I mean, oops, says Hex there. And also, but North versus South selection is based on where you went to secondary school, right? Yeah, it is. So I think Damien McKenzie was playing for the South. Who else do we have who were like, was it? Geordie Barrett was playing for a different side than his brothers. I think it was. I think he was playing for North rather than, or he was playing for South rather than North or something like that. And also we got there, I was right off, says Hex. And also we have got there, hello, big V8. Can we talk about the test after that partnership is broken, please? I'm losing my yesterday. Don't know where Mitchell and Blundell pulled this partnership out from. Yeah, I just hope that someone from England's lineup can also create some magic for them. Whether it is going to be the partnership of Root and Stokes, like, or something. Oh, okay, not taken correctly for the dropout. Okay, that's something that you really wouldn't have thought you'd see. So he tried to go for the dropout after the kick missed. So it missed. Brad Weber put it down. And then from there, they had to take the 22 dropout. And Quinn Tupaia, he didn't actually manage to hit his foot with his 22 dropout. So because of that, it means that it's a scrum feed for the Waratahs. And also we have got there, Hamish, what is your ideal final for Super Rugby? One moment. I'm just going to make sure I know exactly how that draw falls, because I know that people are saying the winner of this game get to face off against the Crusaders. I'm just going to make sure. Quarterfinal winner. Is it that way? I think it is. Someone be sure to let me know. On my app, it doesn't actually tell me who's playing who in the semis, but I assume that is the case. Now driving for Lalakai Fuketi. I hang on to this one quite nicely now. Charlie Gamble pops it back off. Now passing it back across. It's Jake Gordon off to Tane Edmund Peach now, trying to hold him up, and it looks like the Chiefs just managed to get the knee down there. And also we have got the many of the players for the South were born in North Island, received scholarships to play rugby in the South Island schools. So here's the big V8 show. That's going to be the penalty in favour of the Waratahs. And this one should be a nicer, easier kick for Tane Edmund if he wants it. And also, how experienced are you in 2016, 2019 Super Rugby? I'll be honest, not a huge amount. It was actually only in probably the first season of Super Rugby Aotearoa that we actually got way back into it. And tries to what says All Bunnings Cup. Says Brent, yep, that is exactly where I ended up going for my table for the other one. But what I will quickly do is I'll go like this, and I will go. Here we go. We'll go to Super Rugby's website, and that should tell us exactly who's going to be playing who. And also we have got the how has New Zealand been going in the cricket? They got bowled out for hardly any, but then they've been able to get about a almost 200-run partnership now and get themselves right back into the contest. So a very good job by a couple of those players. I believe it was Blundell and also Daryl Mitchell who helped them out. And Carlos Spencer, not from Auckland. And Kia ora, Hamish. If the Kiwi lads got merchandise, hoodies, caps, etc., etc., asking for a nephew who's a big fan of the channel. Says Warriors fan. We haven't quite, but we have been looking into it to find, I guess, the best way. Because the thing that I've always said is if we do end up doing it, I don't want it to cost like a whole heap of money. Like I've seen a lot of merchandise for other YouTube channels, and it's like way overpriced type thing, but you pay more because they kind of make you, if that makes sense. But I really want it to be like affordable but good quality, but it's so hard to find that balance, definitely when it's probably going to be a small number of like items, if that makes sense. So I'm still trying to work out what the best option for us is, whether or not it is to do it through online or whether it's to go to like a local shop and see what they can do type thing. Yeah, we want some hoodies and beanie. And as else says Nathan, and also we have got there with the Kiwi Land logo, says Nathan, and also go Chiefs, and also magnificent comeback in the cricket, says Mr. Higgins. Yeah, the game turned around big time, and it went from looking like it was going to be over by day maybe 3 lunch session to now going well and truly further. And also need George's signature face on a hat, says Hex. Yeah, and we've got a couple other, like I've got a design in my head for a shirt, but it's trying to work out how to, I guess, make it happen, because like I can't draw. So the problem is I know what I want it to look like, but it's hard to tell someone what I want it to look like. And Chinese cheap merchandise, see, I don't think we want to go cheap though, because at the end of the day, we don't just want it to be like you buy it because you want the logo. We want it to be you buy it because it's got the logo, plus it's actually really like high quality, which is tricky to do. Top of I currently hanging on to that one. 10-all in this game. I should mention currently Samasoni Takiaho now passing it off to Alex Nankerville. Nice run on the inside for the semifinals. Don't the highest ranked team play the lowest? CSX, I believe so. So for the semifinal, it is going to be the Crusaders versus to be confirmed. And then the other game, it is to be confirmed, to be confirmed. So I believe it is the winner of this game goes on to face off against the Crusaders. And also Darryl Mitchell, ex-All Black coach, John Mitchell, good Waikato man, says Brent. And also we've got an excellent comeback from the Kiwis. Very pleased by Darryl Mitchell and Tom Blundell performance. They both deserve 100 a day at Lords. New Zealand can win easily by setting target of 500. And also Carlos from Horowhenua. And also New Zealand flag, GGGG. And also we need to get Canterbury Wear to sponsor you, says Justin. And also at least Parky is there That's something, but at least it's against the Black Caps. I do have a soft spot for them, unlike Australia. So has he bowled yet, Sebastian? I know I should probably know that, but I did end up getting a little bit distracted. That's a good try from Luke Jacobson, straight through the middle. And that will be another try for the Chiefs. Now, every time I start like a slightly longer conversation about something other than the rugby just fires back, doesn't it? And Luke Jacobson does manage to score himself the try. I was talking about the fact that a few number 7s were injured now. Luckily for him, I'd say that he is going to get himself a crack. And the AB's up against the Irish. He just went straight through the middle. And also 14 overs bowled by Parky. Okay, did he go all right? Overall, I need to watch the highlights of that second day. But yeah, I did end up missing a couple of the hours, which was a bit unfortunate. And also good Waikato, man. And also where we do some commentary for day 3. Unfortunately, we've got pretty much rugby all the way through. So I don't believe we've got any chance to do any cricket today, unfortunately. But day 4, we should be all right to be able to do it. I reckon the Warehouse will sponsor you, says Justin there. And son of John Mitchell, says Brent. And if the Tars win, the winner of the Blues versus Landers play with, Match will play them. I see. So, yeah, it all based off. So it is actually a to be confirmed versus to be confirmed type thing. So it could actually end up any way. But if the Chiefs win, they play Crusaders, I believe, do they? No. Or it all depends on the other matches as well, doesn't it? With the Hurricanes and also the Waratahs, although only one of those two, or sorry, not the Waratahs, the Brumbies, but only one of those guys can go through. So I think it is Crusaders versus Chiefs, or it could be Waratahs versus Blues. And he bowled some erratic pies, but that's classic leg spin, says Mr. Higgins. And economy rate is all right, but for its spinners debut, 3 and a bit. As you can imagine with Tom and Daryl finding some batting form, they decided to take him on. Yeah, you want to try and intimidate the youngster who didn't even know he was playing up until about a quarter of the way through day 1. So, like, to be able to go from just chilling out in your house to, hello, yep, you're on a plane or you're in a car, you got to come down and you got to play on debut, you kind of sit there going, what? And then can be intimidating. And also Melville, Gray, Stephen Hamilton, and also we have got there, well, if the Landers win, they will play the Crusaders actually. Oh, wait, will they? Oh, yeah, that's true, sorry, because of the fact that they are actually ranked. Sorry, I forgot about the fact that the Blues would get knocked out if the Highlanders won. And Papali isn't playing, says Joey Ennis. Yeah, massive hit to the Blues once again. And I was a heck yeah, laddie, for hopping on the try line, and also he was having a barbecue when he got the call, get your ass down to Lords. Says Sebastian. See, he was probably just enjoying a nice, casual, he was probably watching the cricket, actually. And one of his friends or family would have made a joke like, oh, Jack Leach is injured, you'll get a call soon, and then he probably did. Now, Waratahs hanging on to this ball 24 minutes in. Backhand again, there's an advantage as well for offside against the Chiefs, so just a little bit too much rush defence there. Jake Gordon, back to Harry Johnson-Holmes, good hands from Angus Bell. He's being dragged down low by Brody Retallick, and also we have got the IMs. G'day, everyone. Let's go the mighty Chiefs. So it's down with the mine, and it looks like this game's going to be a high scoring one at this point in time, and it is going back now for the penalty in favour of the Waratahs. And if Landers win Southern Derby on, and also what was the thrashing score? CSX, the thrashing score. We're talking the matchup. Oh. I guess there's been a few close ones that you could call thrashings. Are we talking the Brumbies versus the Hurricanes game? Because if we are, it was 42-25, but I think that was the one that you were saying earlier on, wasn't it? And also, big love, David, and also would love to see the Tars win it all. Will be very hard, says USA Rugby League and Union fan. And that's the thing. If they went from being bottom of the bunch last year to being able to turn it around and win this year, that would be, for me, one of the greatest turnarounds for any side. Like the Chiefs being able to make it to Super Rugby Aotearoa's final was huge because of the season that they had prior and also the amount of games that they had lost in a row. But after this, like, this would be huge. And also, cheer to David, says Mark, and also I'm a Kane supporter, but the Blues won't lose to the Landers, says John. See, I don't think they will, but there's just that little bit in the back of my mind thinking now that the Highlanders have had that absolute shocker last week, they might come out firing this week because they've got nothing to lose. They're versing the top of the table team that beat them last time. I was like, no, I was responding to James. I see. And also, we look at the Outback New Zealand cricket at $3.55, says Brent. Nice. I saw them get up to $8. And I thought they were going to be higher than $8, to be honest, the way that it started. But that's the thing. You got to wait till both sides bat. And I feel like you've locked them in quite nicely. And how long is Dalton out? I haven't actually heard the extent of the injury just as of yet, but I'm sure that they'll mention it in the Blues, how long it's looking like he's going to be out for. But I know that him and probably Ethan Blackadder might both be out for the Irish tour at this stage. But it's a big run forward from Angus Bell up to halfway. It's actually another missed kick for the Waratahs. And hey, guys, says Obi, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Currently now passing it back. Oh, that's a good shot from Peter Gus-Sawakula onto Lalakai Fakiti, but the ball's gone loose. And now nice inside ball off to Alex Newsom. Does get extremely close to the touchline, but he is still in the field of play. Now Quinetawasi once again passes back to Harry Johnson-Holmes. Edmund goes off to Bell. And at the moment, the Waratahs playing an aggressive game of rugby with the ball in hand. With the Chiefs on defence, looking like they're putting in some big shots. And also, I'm feeling better about the cricket now, says Obi. And also, injury hell. I think it's from either training or just something outside of, I don't think it was actually from a game per se, because he was fine last week, and he was actually announced in the lineup. And so, not too sure. And also, I wrote a head coach of Waratahs, Darren Coleman, a letter from the USA, and he emailed me back. He's a legend. Says, USA, that is a good kick there. And now it will be kicked downfield by Nawa Quinetawasi, or in fact, he gave it off to Edmund, who does get it cleared a little bit more. And also, I agree, the Blues look set to win. The rugby ball is not round. So we can never be sure Highlanders might pull off an upset when against the form, says MH Joy. And also we have got the IOB, and also we have got now 114 and they're all 141, sorry. That one. And also we have got there. Oh, hi Hamish telling me what wrong with my phone. So, well, that depends, Brandon. What are the kind of symptoms of that phone at the moment? I'm not the best at tech support, but I'll try my best for you. And also that's a huge loss. No more streaking downfield for him. Says Hex, yeah, because losing Ethan Blackadder for that workhorse role and now losing Dalton Pavali as well, you're looking a little bit light, I guess, for number 7. But you still got Jacobson, Peter Gus-Sawakula, maybe could go there. Does Big Red Tom Robinson return to maybe that offside flanker role? At least we still have Akira, exactly right, Akira Ioane, if he decides to go into 7. We've got options. It's just they're probably not the options that they thought they were going to have. And I guess that's kind of lucky for the All Blacks that they haven't announced the squad yet, although they would be able to fill them in anyway. But it's just not having those players, not really what you want. All right, and also is the French Open on tonight? Oh, I unfortunately can't tell you. Sorry, I'm not very good with my tennis schedule. Oh, actually, it might be. Now that I think about it, 22nd of May till the 6th of June. So on the 4th, okay, we've actually already had the 2 games, I believe. So no games tonight, but the final is going to be Rafael Nadal versus Rudd, and that is at 1 a.m. on Monday morning. So not tonight, but the night after. Going to be when that one is taking place. For 22 metres out now for the Chiefs once again, trying to attack, and it's a good bit of work from Dylan Peach, wins the penalty for the Waratahs. Great work in the breakdown from him. And also, Hamish and Hamish both have a good point. My guess for the final later on is Auckland versus Crusaders, says John there. And also, they're not sure how long he's out for. Hopefully, it's not too serious. He's Nathan, yeah, because if he's out, it's a shame because he's been one of those guys since last year or even before last year that I've been right, I want him to get to really cement himself as the starting number 7. But then, hey, I've just realized something. Artie Savia used to play 7. We could maybe see Artie Savia slotting back in. I can't believe I forgot to mention him for an option because of just how much we've seen him play number 8. But he could go back to 7. Hoskins a Tutu at number 8 or Jacobson at 8, something like that. And last round, Moana Pacific versus Brumbies was the Brumbies squad their best team, or did they not play the best, says Cruzy Boy? Believe it or not, they had probably 95% of their strongest players in that match, and it just went wrong. They just didn't quite get it right. So, I mean, it's the question of who will be more disappointed, the Hurricanes for losing to the Western Force or the Brumbies for losing to Moana Pacifica. And you'd have to say the Brumbies for losing to Moana Pacifica, but the kind of evening factor is the fact that it's at GIO Stadium, and that will be the last game of the night at 9:45. We have got there in Hamilton today. There was no club rugby, says Brent, and also Akira 6, Artie 7, says X. And also if the Blues get through to the semis, where you could see them take on against the Tars, Brumbies, Hurricanes, and he'll be missed Says Hex there. I'd love to see my one at the moment, I think, is, who do I want to see? I want to see at least one Australian side in there just to keep it alive type thing. It's going to be an advantage back of blue. Or actually, sorry, no advantage. And for that one to bounce for Alex Newsom now, offloads it up to Lalakai Foketi, who goes for the kick in behind. There's no one really back there, and it's bouncing awkwardly. Goes into touch, and Jonah Lowe won't be taking that one quickly. Hopefully the Hurricanes win. And also I have to off and on, and now with that, says Brendan. So we'll see you later on, Brendan. And also we get that Hurricanes still got the magic left, and Savi will be happy to have his number 7 jersey back. I can't believe I listed like 5 players and forgot completely about Ardie Savia as the option. Like I was saying, you could transfer a Kiriwani to there, could maybe Jacobson or Peter Gusto call it, and then it just all of a sudden struck me, you know, Ardie Savia, he spent quite a bit of time there. Top of eye, having a bit of a push and a shove there. Okay, so top of eye, I mean, it's fair play for whoever that Waratahs player was, because it was a penalty to the Chiefs. And then from there, Tupavai shoved him in the back of the head to just try and rack him up a little bit. And he just walked away. And the referee literally said, if you keep on doing that, Chiefs, I'm going to reverse your penalty. And also, it's happening all over at Brandon. Or it's all happening over at Brandon, says Sebastian. And also Papali'i. And no disrespect Australia. I would like to see a home grand final Kiwi against Kiwi, says Justin there. And also, I'd love to see the Canes replay the Blues. Are they, after all, are the only team to beat them? Yep, that's the matchup that definitely I want to see for the upcoming semi-finals. But, yeah, it's going to be tricky to see whether or not, that's a drop ball from Tupavai. So the karma kind of went straight around in a circle for the man. He went from trying to get in the opponent's head, and now he's actually got in his own head in his hands. The ball has slipped out of him. And also, we have got there Papali'i, Dalton, and there says John, and also Brody. Is that the T-Rex or T-Retallic? There, it's hungry, says Nathan. He'd be loving to get this one going. And Crusaders versus Blues is the dream, says Hex. And I believe it can happen, can't it? In my brain, like the results I see are slightly different to the results that I would like to see. But I think it's going to be Chiefs versus Crusaders on one side of the draw. And then on the other side, Hurricanes versus Blues. And then maybe a Blues versus Crusaders final. That would be the ideal scenario. And also, did you see Ulster versus Munster last night? I saw the first about 20 to 30 minutes, and I saw that Ulster had a good lead. In fact, I actually saw it. Was it 19-7 at halftime? Because if it was, that's when my eyes got too heavy and I closed them, and then they didn't come back out until about maybe 3 p.m. this afternoon. But I saw the first half. I don't actually know who won that game, though. So that will be an interesting one. I feel like I'm going to give it a quick look. I know who I think would have won it, but whether or not they did win it is a different story. Okay, yep, who I thought would have won it did win it, and they won it relatively comfortably in the end. Right now, we are gauging Kiwi players for All Black contention. And I was like, you don't see any Aussie teams in the semis, not for like what I think the matchups could be, but what I want the matchups to be. I want to see the Brumbies in there. And I think that the Brumbies are the team that are going to be able to make their way in there. There's a mistake there, and Alex Nankerville's just scored, and that's going to be another one. And now currently, they are just rubbing it in a little bit, the Chiefs. There's a bit of arrogance going on at the moment. I didn't see this side of the Chiefs earlier on in the season. So I think either the Waratahs have got under their skin with something that they've said, or the Chiefs have just decided that now it's the time to get cocky. But Alex Nankerville has been able to do very nicely and get himself the try there. But yeah, I think the Brumbies will be able to go, or I think, what was my system? I think the Brumbies are going to win, but then at the same time, I think everyone wants to see that Blues versus Hurricanes matchup. And that makes sense. I think I got that around the right way. Because I see the Brumbies possibly beating the Hurricanes tonight. And also we have got there, the Brumbies are always the Aussie team that compete in the past years. And with that side that they've got, I think they bounce back. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I listed the ones that like the Kiwis want to see, but I do want to see one Aussie team in there. And also Chiefs made all the way 260 people. We're seeing my live stream at 7:30 now at 79. And also did anyone see Quinn's types at the end of the try? As says Des, he was trying to get in ahead of Ben Donaldson. Literally, he was trying to get through his skull by putting his hand on it. And also very cheers for Hamish for hopping on the try line. Says Mark and also Tobias Lowell. And also we have got there and the chat go, Waratahs, you will win. Says Walter, and also cheers Mana all the way for a Kane supporter. Says Crazy Boy Paul Munster. The last thing they needed after the Champions Cup penalty elimination, surprisingly poor season actually. Says Sebastian. And yeah, it's almost like, I don't know what's happened because it's that so close yet so far away type motto. It was actually a mistake by Noah Kwanetawasi and also Ben Donaldson there. Yeah, Quinton Ply decided he wanted to try and fire up Ben Donaldson a little bit. I think it's worked. But they won, and also we have got well. It's interesting. Hopefully Hurricanes can get up and win over the Brumbies, says Justin. But yeah, whoever wins that game, I think only wins it by 7 or less, is my prediction for that one. And I'm going to predict that the Brumbies score first. But this game's still a little while away, of course, 4.5 hours, in fact. But we will be covering it on the channel when it does come around. Now, whoa, to entertain him, and almost got clothesline there by Summer Peter Fino. And also, I'm such a biased Kiwi, says Hex, and there as well. Now, penalty going the way of the Chiefs. Is that a child screaming or is that a seagull just absolutely going for it near a microphone? It might be a seagull, but was there much sea at FMG Stadium? Now bring Gatlin. Kicks it downfield. It's a nice kick. And now the Chiefs are once again going to have themselves another line out. Brumbies always scoring first. And there's C6 and also no Aussie team going through to the semis. Kiwi team's too good. The only way Aussie teams will win if one of our teams get a yellow or a red card. Says Drew there. And also we've got the Canes win by 23 and score first. And what's up, bro? Says Nathan, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And Cheeky Quinn to the pie. Says Nathan, you're just really trying to fire them up at the moment. But the big thing is when you do that, you got to make sure you win. Because I've seen it done in the past. And it was actually the youngster. Who was the young Hurricanes halfback, ladies and gentlemen? Do let me know. Nice run for it. Nana Satoro. Bouncing out of a tackle only a couple metres short of the line now for the Chiefs. Brad Weber looking for his options. And now Peter Gassawakula getting close. Luke Campbell, I think it was maybe, who did end up well and truly just trying to fire up the opposition by like rubbing their head and all that kind of thing. And he did get the conversion over my scoreboard. Yep, there we go. Has now updated. But yeah, he was rubbing the head and whatnot of one of the opposition players, and the Hurricanes went on to lose that game. So, I mean, you know, the last laugh goes the way of the team who actually won it. And also, we have got fixed scoreboard, do job, Hamish. Says Petty, and also we get the Hurricanes also lost to Moana Pacific, and we're the only team to beat the Blues this season. Very, very unpredictable, says John. And also we have got the whenever the Blues get a double yellow card and their defense goes unbreakable. And also Jamie Booth says Cruzy Boy for one of those halfbacks. Because they're starting Perenara, aren't they? It'll be interesting to see how it goes. But Cruzy Boy, as a Hurricane supporter, who do you think is going to have a really good game for them in this matchup up against the Brumbies? I think it's going to be one of the forwards, like Isaiah Walker-Leawere or someone like that, who just, you know, goes under the radar a little bit, even though it's hard to go under the radar when you're like 2 meters tall, but he somehow manages to do it. And I think in line-out time, he's going to be a nuisance, which is good news for the Hurricanes. And cheers, bro, says David. And also true, says Brent. And also, bro, so did the Canes. Says Johnny. Now passing it across. Going to be taken nice there. Moni Narawa. I think he's going to be held up there. Held up. It's gone over the line and come back. Okay. Sounds like 12 was offside, so now it's actually going to be a penalty 5 meters out for the Chiefs. So they might consider a scrum here or a corner. Nah, I would go scrum from whereabouts it's setting up because you've got both sides to try and go for. Artie Savia all the way. I'm a staunch Chiefs supporter, but history has taught me to never underestimate the Aussies. They are dangerous under pressure. And as no mum here, the Chiefs are playing in their quarterfinal. Fun fact, Sebastian, she is not because she is there. She is actually at FMG Stadium at the moment for this match. She was waiting as soon as they went on sale and she straight onto it, getting the ticket. So hopefully she's enjoying this game at this stage. As the Chiefs, they have got themselves a nice little lead, almost going into halftime. And it has been flying by currently, this match. Oh, they're actually taking on the 3 here, the Chiefs. So I guess strategic to take it through to halftime, because that is going to be the siren. And also they will have a 17-point lead going into the second. And we don't know, I can't write off the Highlanders. Anything can happen. Whoever turns up tonight wins. And she's at the game, got on her 10 out of 10. And also just put Whakatawa on the field as 99-5 win. Yeah, he has been, I think I mentioned this, was it yesterday's live stream? I think it was yesterday's live stream, not a video. But I said, for me, he is actually like impact player, like the most dangerous out of any player off the bench this season. Because you look at how it turned around for the Highlanders when he came off there. And it's weird seeing a player come off the bench for Aaron Smith, of all people, and to have that much of an impact. And I think that's why it makes it that much more impressive, because you've already got a world-class halfback, and then you chuck in Whakatawa, who just does things that most halfbacks wouldn't even attempt because they'd be worried that they're going to lose the ball for his side. And then he just pierces through. And also, where's the wagon? And she's also as well, says David the Mod. And also, we have got there. Who do you want to win the Super Rugby? Want to win is a tricky one, because there are a lot of teams who, like, you know, I could say will get a good shot at winning. But I was looking at kits the other day, and they're on special for $110, I think it is. And I'm so tempted to get one, but the problem is I don't know what team to get, because as you guys know, I'm pretty impartial for all of these ones. Like, I love the Hurricanes kit. But then I was also considering a Blues one. Should I get the Crusaders since I'm from there? I wouldn't get the Chiefs, I don't think, because I've already got that other Chiefs kit. So it's pretty similar in that regard. Or do you go for the Highlanders? I think the Highlanders are the lowest on the pecking order for myself, even though they have got some very good players there as well. But I think, yeah, it's between the Blues, the Hurricanes, or the Crusaders. And I have no idea what one to get. And because they're quite expensive, even on special, I feel like I could probably only get one. And also, Whakatawa, thank God he plays for Hawke's Bay. Says Cruisy Boy there. And also, we have got the once Aaron retires, Whakatawa should follow his greatness. Then mentor another halfback, grow his legendary halfbacks in Otago. And also, we have got there, or grow the legendary halfbacks in Otago, I just realized. And also, Hurricanes, says Chris there. And also, we have got there, I back the Crusaders 2 lost 50. But I'm a Chiefs fan. Next weekend's game will be amazing, says Brent. And also the Canes, bro, says Johnny. So the Hurricanes seems to be the most popular choice overall. The Canes, says Cruisy Boy. The funny thing is, we're on a Chiefs live stream, but the Hurricanes seem like they're getting more. I want the Canes to win it all. I can't see it happening. I do see them winning tonight, like Hamish said, close and under 7. And also get the 2021 training Canes jersey, says Hex. And also, are you going to do today? Says Brandon. I probably won't buy it today. I'm going to have a look and see what their training kit looks like. The 2021 Hurricanes 2021 training kit. What does it look like? Oh, is it the like that kind of green and black one? Hex. And also Stormers for the URC champs. And there says Albion, of course, playing Edinburgh later on tonight, so they will be hoping get themselves a big win. I believe of the URC fixtures, we are going to be doing, hopefully, the Sharks versus Bulls. We may have to start that just a little bit later on than the kickoff, like maybe about 5 minutes after, just because of the overlap that it might be with the Brumbies Hurricanes game, as they normally start late, which Aussie jersey would be best, says Brent. I think it depends on what you like, but for me, if I had to pick an Aussie jersey, who would I go with? I mean, I quite like the Rebels Skyline, like one that they have got on the front. But if I had to go with any side, I'd probably either go with the Brumbies. In fact, what does the Brumbies away kit look like now that I think about it? Brumbies away kit. I think it's that kind of orange one. If I'm not wrong, I might go with a Brumbies away kit if I was to pick one. Or, what's this one? When's this year from? The Brumbies Classic. That yellow Brumbies kit looks kind of cool. And as I predicted the Hurricanes win against the Brumbies, they will make the grand final. And the Force away jersey, actually, yeah, now that you say that, the Force away jersey, Western Force away jersey 2022. Yeah. That is nice. That kind of black one, isn't it? Yeah, either the Western Force, they actually have some very nice kits. And also Legends, says Amelia. And also 5 minutes is fine. But will be a slow start. And also Reds Aussie. And yeah, let's go Hamish. And also I think the Chiefs have the best jersey. And yeah, and also please jersey. Kane's jersey, I have one. And yeah, I'm going to have a quick look at I love the Hurricanes kit this year more than any other year as well for their home kit. Because some of the other years, I think the yellow, like the pattern on it sometimes what would you call it, kind of overrides the kit color, if that makes sense. And it always got it confused with the Chiefs. CSX there, also we have got their Brumbies do well tonight, says Nathan. And also I got the Canes green jersey. It's nice. Work to the pub, watch them versus Moana Pacific, and they lost. Haven't won it since, says John there. That's the thing. Sometimes, like, that little bit of, I guess, unluckiness can cost you, like, wearing a jersey or something for, like, a whole season. I've noticed that in the past as well. So currently, it's $105. Oh. Why is that so cheap? Oh, it's a performance T-shirt. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, why is that so cheap compared to all the others? But yeah, it's $105 for the men's shirt on special. Normally $150. So it is quite an expensive venture for like Super Rugby kits. Definitely if you were to try and collect all 5. So it's probably like, yeah. And I was like, hello from FMG, says no, mum, how's it going? Hope you are enjoying the atmosphere. At the moment, I own a New Zealand Māori All Blacks jersey. And then says Justin, how many people have got the original Moana Pacifica kit as well, out of curiosity, from their first matchup? Then now, actually, Moana Pacifica's kit I quite like as well, to be fair. And Anton Leonard Brown at the moment, he is actually chatting with a couple of the commentators. So I'm wondering whether or not we get to see him by the end of the year, because he has also got injury. The Brumbies versus Blues. Brumbies jersey was hot, says Hex. And I was like, what are you looking on? So that was on Rebel Sport that I was having a look at those ones for the Hurricanes kit. But then I think there's also Rayos and a couple of other ones. I think what other Player Sports, I think, is another one that do have things. And also there is a live DJ here. Says no one, so that's pretty awesome that they have got a live entertainment. I think we can slightly hear it in the background from a distance. And Chiefs' first ever jersey was neat. And also I have the 2017 Landers away jersey. C6, and also, honestly, I wore because I thought we were never going to lose, and we lost. And also, we got a good half of rugby from the Chiefs. It was indeed rugby. Yes, hope you are doing well too, mate. Hope you are excited for the Blues game just a little bit later on against the Landers. And also, it's fair to say that everyone would be happy if Moana Pacifica won next season. They're such a likable team, everyone's favourite second team type thing. Yeah, they've just got that extra, like, I guess I've got a soft spot for them, of course, because I've seen all of them in the Bunnings NBC. And I kept on saying during the Bunnings NBC, like, if these guys don't get signed for a team, I would be very sad. Likes the Lincoln McClutchy and everyone along those lines. But they're just, like, the culture that they bring, like, they don't really do anything, I guess, like, bad, if that makes sense. They're just, like, they just do rugby pretty much, and they just try their best throughout the games. I'm pretty sure that New Zealand teams dominate this competition, or dominant this competition, says Spider Mick. And also we have got the over soft spot for Fiji. Yeah, the Fijian draw, I think, is everyone's probably second or third team as well, wanting to see them do well, just because of that elusive, unpredictable style that the Fijians bring. I can't think of what that saying was that I used for the Fijians a little while ago on a Fijian Rua live stream, and it was such a catchy thing, and I wish I wrote it down, but it made such sense. Hey, it's Ian Foster. He's watching on at the moment for this game, probably trying to hide his face, and now everyone knows that he's at the ground, so he might get maybe a boo at halftime. And also Crack Up Bro, who thinks Hurricanes will be the first New Zealand team to lose, says Nathan. Oh, tell you what, it could be an interesting one, that is for sure. And also, how loud is the crowd, says Hex. And also, I got mine from Rebels in there as well, says Cruisy Boy. But yeah, there's plenty of places that you can find the kits. It's just whether or not they are cheap or not, because you definitely don't want, like, the knockoff kits, just because, like, if you're going to spend, like, a whole heap of money on it, you might as well get, like, the top of the bunch, like, kind of quality type thing. I'm going to have a look at another website while we're at halftime. Good morning, Gareth. And there's, did I miss a Gareth message? One moment. We'll go back a little bit more. Where is Gareth? Where is Gareth? Oh, there's Gareth. Morning. Hello, Gareth. Sorry for missing that one. And also we have got there, Go Chiefs Go. And then I'm back, says Betty Week, and also Foster found beat up after the game and against Moana. And also how's a buddy, says David the Mod to Gareth. And there's, oh yeah, sorry for missing that one, Gareth. I apologise. And also we've got the halftime show beat up Foster and no bonus points, just need to win. Says Brent there. And yeah, it's going to be a very important game for them. So you can get the 2019 jersey for $67.50 from a website, but like it just doesn't quite look right, that one. I think I prefer the 2021 home jersey. I had to pick out of the two, and also we got there. John says Nathan there. I wonder what other kits are left. I bet you can find a cheap Crusaders kit because they always end up getting left over, which is weird because like they are a strong side, but you can normally find like Crusaders. Oh no, you can only get them in super small for the Crusaders kit at this stage. And also we got there. Thanks, bro, for the commentary. Go Chiefs. Says Kitioni, no worries at all, mate. And it is good to see you once again. I will mention, ladies and gentlemen, we have got something else coming up very soon, and that is going to be myself and a guest for the next live stream that we have got, and that is going to be Blues versus Highlanders. He will be sitting next to me. We will be dressed to impress, but it's bloody cold at the moment, so I have to light the fire, I think. Might be a way of doing it, or else we might need some sort of jacket on. Well, that one, and it getting a bit chilly. Yeah, I agree. 9 degrees at the moment here. As soon as the sun goes down, I feel like I'm starting to sound about 10 years older, but as soon as the sun goes down, that chill starts coming out. I want to make sure you light the fire early or get the heat pump fired up. And also, best Bunnings Cup jersey, Waikato, West Coast. And there says Brent, and also, hello, Betty, finally you made it. I do see, actually, on that note of the Bunnings NBC or the Bunnings Cup, I see that South Canterbury are going to have a shield challenge, which is kind of cool because that's like just up the road from myself. So maybe we'll be able to do the commentary of that match. Would be pretty cool, even though they might end up losing by a lot. But that is all right. I'm trying to turn on the heat pump from a distance. This isn't working. I might have to very, very quickly, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to pop to literally 2 meters that way so that I can turn on the heat pump. And then I will be back in just a moment. My heat pump doesn't like me much. It's not turning on. Now it is. We're good. I had to almost put the remote inside of the heat pump to make it go. And also my fire is burning. New Zealand winter sucks. And a stripper outfit, maybe shirtless and a bow tie. Who knows if it's warm enough. And also coming to insult the land. It says, Hex, it actually isn't George. Plot twist. George is away on a piss-up weekend. So he is not available at this stage. And also I've got there and a tutu. And also got a hey mate, says Jacob, welcome in, mate. And also it says 11 in Manawatu. Well, that seems optimistic. Yeah, sometimes I think they just make it up to make people feel better. Like I would say here, even 9 degrees is probably quite generous. Hello, Amelia. I think I mentioned I'm going to give my body a break for a few months from going to sporting events so that I can get good tickets for the Bledisloe Cup because it's been on my bucket list to go. So yeah, hopefully you do enjoy that one. And there's going to be a pretty awesome rugby championship just around the corner for us, I believe. And also we got there, is it Mr. W? And there says Sebastian, it is Mr. W. Some people won't know who Mr. W is, but it is indeed him. So yeah, we're going to be dressed we're going to be dressed to impress. Mainly because for some reason, that's just what we do anytime comes around. And also I live in South and it's 10. Says Patty there. Oh, I live South and it's 10. And also, hey, David, says Amelia and hey, Betty. And there as well. Currently, line breaks 2 for the Chiefs, not so many for the Waratahs, also just the 2. So we have got a few coming through in that first half, but both sides will be trying to cut this game open. Isaac as well says David the Mod, it is indeed. And also Bledisloe will be good this year. Hex, yeah, and just the 2-match series now for it, and then the Rugby Championship alongside South Canterbury, then Poverty Bay next Shields, says Brett. So yeah, we are hoping to do that game for South Canterbury, and there's actually a guy from Waimate who's in the South Canterbury side. So I feel like that would be kind of cool getting to do the commentary for a guy who literally went to the same school as me. And also looking forward to the All Blacks versus Irish. And also I'm an ISO due to getting COVID, thank God, for your stream that I can keep updated from the Rugby Tonight Chair, brother, says Matthew. So hopefully you do feel better soon, Matthew, and you are on a speedy road to recovery. But that does suck for you. But who do you want to win this game, Matthew? Do let me know. And if you're a Chiefs supporter, I assume you will be pretty happy at this point in time. But the second half back underway. The Chiefs have got this ball now. Going to be driving forward quite nicely. And also hope Dave McDermott is all right. Yeah, he did get heavily knocked. But the thing is, he got back up to his feet afterwards, like once he was off the field on a stretcher, and actually returned to the team like bench type thing. I give 30% of my earnings to charity every payday. I sometimes share it out to some of the other strippers for at the local, as this helps go towards their education. Says John, that's very generous of you, John. And I'm sure they are very appreciative of that. And I don't know what else I can say. But I'm sure they show you a lot of loving after that as well. And Jay Gordon now putting it down the middle of the field. And Moni Narawa now sitting there driving forward. He's kicked that one. It's gone kind of straight up, straight down, but it's actually going to work beautifully for him. And Michael Hooper, he knew that Moni Narawa was going to beat him in the air, so he decided to go low for the ankles already. Now, Angus Tavo on the halfway line, and also has Mr. W still got his membership active? Oh, that's a good question. Not sure. Oh, that one hasn't quite bounced the way that it needed to. I'll have to ask him. I'll put him on the spot while he's on the live stream. Also, I'm a Landers fan, so I don't mind. It would be good to have an Aussie team in the mix, says Matthew. Oh, so Landers versus Blues next, Matthew. Are you back in your Landers, boys, to be able to pull off the upset? The thing is, though, like quarterfinals rugby, anything can happen. So it literally could be that the Blues are on about a 12, 13, 14 match winning streak, and it could just go downhill in the first finals playoff game. And also the great Michael Hooper says it was David the Mod. Also, John has got David the Mod with the laughing and the heart, and is Andrew Strawbridge, part of the All Blacks ex-Waikato coach. Not too sure. I think someone else may have to help with that one. I'm always terrible with like the names of the coaches and everyone along those lines, unfortunately. Unless that was actually the guy who was sitting next to Ian Foster. And if it was, then maybe he was just at the game because they were having a chat. As well, now Edmund passes back across to Lalakai Forketti, finds the offload now. Will Harris down the wing was going to be looking for the pass, but wasn't able to find it. Quinta Pai has to make the tackle there. Same with Brady Retallick. 25 metres out from the line now. Jake Gordon passes back to Edmund. Charlie Gamble now. Doing nicely for himself, getting back up to the feet. Oh, that was an awkward knee breaker, as I would call it. But Charlie Gamble, he didn't even feel it. He's just back up to his feet as if nothing happened. Michael Hooper puts it back. Now Jake Gordon passes back across. Dave Parecki, he wanted to go at that one, but currently it just seems like the Waratahs, they need their line break. Doesn't look like it's happening for them just at this one moment. Currently 8 phases in, good defense from the Chiefs. Jake Gordon goes back across. Harry Johnson-Holmes, pop past Charlie Gamble. It's going to be dropped, and now it's back in the hands of the Chiefs, almost in the breakdown. No, the Waratahs, no. Now it goes back the way of the Chiefs for the penalty. And also, Hamish, you mean the Landers go downhill? Says Spider-Meek. And there, actually, I was talking about the Blues for that one. And also, if the Blues lose, JK will stroke out. And also, I'm hoping Blues can win. Canterbury have already won. It'll be a Cinderella story. And also, we've got my teacher plays for the Magpies. Our name is Elijah Martin in there as well. It's a big yawn. To turn the heat pump on and now I'm starting to yawn. And also, if you want to see knee breaker, you should have seen what happened to mine. So yes, Betty, and also the Chiefs win. Do they play the Crusaders next? I believe that is how it sets up. But if the Waratahs win, I think they might have a chance of facing off against the Blues. I think, if I am not wrong there. But now Brad Weber passes across to Tino Nana Satoro, sitting 44 minutes through this game currently. 17 points difference between these two sides. Harry Johnson-Holmes in the breakdown, being able to get his way out of there. Now back across to Samasoni Takiaho. And the question is, how soon do the benches go onto the field here? Peter Kasawakula once again around the side. Now Weber back to Ta'aval trying to break through. Good defense, though, from Ned Hannigan. And also we have got upset on the cards, Money Banks to kick the winning drop goal. Oh, that would be electric. Because that's the thing. The Blues in their last 2 games have won by late drop goal. So if the Highlanders won by late drop goal, Like, that would just be a full circle of, like, kind of, like, craziness, I guess you could say. Oh, no. Another one. Nicely run forward from Tupavi. Good low tackle on him by Hooper. Now Weber after Gatlin with a nice step. Looking for the offload up. He has bound Quintapai. Another offload. Weber 5 metres out from the line now. And that ball is out the back. Stolen by Eric Johnson. Holmes now. Michael Hooper bursts up the middle of the field. He has got a man with him. I believe it's the big man, Will Harris. And Alex Nankerville's going to try and catch him, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. He got close, but Will Harris scores the try. That was a full-length attack. And I haven't yawned, but I'm falling asleep. Here's Patty there. Well, I think the Waratahs may have just woken you up because that is a brilliant try from Will Harris. And it's been a while since he scored as well, Will Harris. Like, he started the season. He's got 2022 6 tries for himself, and that is probably the first one that he's got in a few weeks at least. And it was a turnover and a half in the breakdown. Brad Weber pushed it back, but it was that clean out from Angus Tarvo that opened up that gap. Unfortunately, fell over the front of the ruck, also knocking the ball free. And then because of it, it did end up well and truly breaking through for Will Harris. And also crazy good try the Tars. And also John just works hard and mind donating to the Kiwi Lad. It also spends a few hundred on these universities and our universities girls for their hospitality time contribution towards their education. Says it was Nathan and also our Tars. Says Justin and crazy good try for the Tars. And it was indeed. So now Will Harris scores. The Tars get a little bit closer back into this contest. I don't think this game's over yet, ladies and gentlemen. And also being back on the mobile games the last few days because my PlayStation keeps crashing and I'm getting sick of it. Says Amelia. Now, 40 metres out on the angle for Tane Edmund. Now, he has missed 2 kicks tonight, and one of them was quite close. And a very underrated player, says John there. Now, ready to go here. It looks like Angus Bell might actually be making his way off the field now. Taking some deep breaths. Taking his time. And I don't think this one's as far out as they actually said that it was. It looks a little bit closer. He still misses, though. Goes out to the left-hand side. So the difference between the two sides is still 12 points. And that is going to now make the score after 47 minutes. 27-15, just an 8. Just beat a 13 in a row. Or did an 8 just beat a 13 in a race? He did. Will Harris, he's got some big legs, though. He runs with a big old stride. And Alex Nankerville, probably not known for his out-and-out speed overall, but it's still like nothing taken away from Will Harris, the way that he ran down the field and was able to break. And that's the thing, the Chiefs, like, it was just that mistake in the breakdown. Like I mentioned, Angus Tarvo in there, he did end up trying to get a clean out that someone already had covered, so he just fell over the front of the ruck. And then from there, it just freed it up for them. Now, Luke Jacobson's got this one at the back, but it looks like the Waratahs after that try might have a little bit of an extra spring in their step, and also what a try from the Tars. So, yeah, very impressive one. Probably, to be honest, the best try of the match, you'd have to argue, because it was a full-length run from Will Harris alongside Michael Hooper, who got him with the draw and pass and the turnover and the breakdown as well. I'm trying to think of the other tries that we've had. Brad Weber's was a very good run as a halfback, though. And then you'd have to say, I mean, Dylan Peach with the grow. Okay, so there's a few try of the match nominees. But I'd say that the Waratahs 2 tries, they were impressive. And then also Brad Weber's probably the most impressive try for the Chiefs at this point in time. Drove him backwards in the tackle there. Still hanging on to it by the looks of it. It is going to be now Weber. Passes back across on the halfway line now. Bryn Gatlin looking for the kick. That looks like he got too much on that. It's kicked out on the full. And it's going back to where he kicked it from, which was about the halfway line. So at the moment, a few mistakes creeping in for the Chiefs in the last little while. I haven't seen much scrums this game. That is true. And I think that's why it's been very good, because we've been able to just see that free flow and run and rugby that both of these sides do want to play. And also we've got that. I've already decided that I'm going to have to bring my old Xbox One watch version of Season 4, because I downright don't trust my PS4, and considering the amount of episodes there is. There's Amelia there as well. Now Charlie Gamble just looking like he's getting the call down for the line out. 2010, the only time that they have won at FMG Stadium. So that is a little while ago, and keep the points flowing. Says Justin, yeah, we have already had 42 points scored in this matchup, and we could see a few more in a very short moment. But now Dave Parecki taken nicely there at the front by Holloway. And the rolling ball starting to build for the Waratahs. Slightly going sideways at the moment here. Sideways, let's use it, please. Jake Gordon puts up the box kick. Waiting for this one to come down. Nicely taken by Jonah Lowe, is actually a player we haven't seen too much of throughout this match now that I say his name. Now the counter-ruck from the Waratahs is brilliant. They've got the ball back. Charlie Gamble now off to Alex Newsom. Wide cut out pass to Ben Donaldson. Inside ball. Noah Quanetawasi put it down. And it's a knock on there as well. And also now watch out for the Tars errors and their eagerness to get even. And the Chiefs now capitalise on the indiscretions of the Tars. Says Emma Choi. And I feel like you literally called that as it was happening. The handling errors for the Waratahs. They have had 5 so far. And also we have got there. Hamish, you got a guest coming on tonight. I do indeed. It is going to be myself sitting here and my guest sitting about there. I just realized he's probably going to be about where I am actually, and we'll just kind of rotate the camera. But yep, we have got a guest. We're going to be not quite suited completely, but we're going to be relatively suited for this matchup between the Waratahs, not the Waratahs, the Blues and the Highlanders. So yeah, be sure to check out that one when it does come around the corner, because that is going to be starting at 7 p.m. and we will be covering that whole game. Then after that, we have got Brumbies versus Hurricanes. Then after that, we have got the matchup taking place between the Sharks and the Bulls. Now, hypothetically speaking, Waratahs win and the Brumbies win alternate universe stuff. Says Justin there. It would be pretty impressive. It looks like Dave Parecki at the moment having a bit of a chat in the front row with Samasoni Takiaho. I feel like the front rows are getting along a little bit too well, if that makes sense, which is why, to be honest, I think that's why scrums have gone so well in this match. Because both sides, rather than doing those little cheap tactics of like trying to half by drop your shoulder, throw the other guy's weight off, they're just scrummaging and then that's it type thing. But now, about to be fed in by Brad Weber. They're about 15 metres out from the line. Waratahs need to score in the next 10 minutes to have a chance. That's just gone down in the front row, so I think I jinxed it big time. There we go. Okay, that was me just messaging my guest to make sure that he is still all good to come around, and he is. So he is going to be coming around a little bit later on. Just because I thought I'd better make sure before I say that he's going to be on the live stream too often. But Peter Sawakula now trying to drive forward. Now Brad Weber goes to the short side off to Atino Nana Satoro. Now going round on the outside. Good work there from Ned Hannigan with the fumble of the ball. It actually ended up helping them out more. Now Ben Donaldson, the chip and chase. This one's going to be sitting up not quite nicely for him. It's a knock-on from Bryn Gatlin, though. And also smoker or drinker, says Justin. Smoker or drinker? Is in for me or my guest? And also we have got the action to keep my dumb mouth shut. And Waratahs need to score in the next 10 minutes. Although that's the thing, though. Still plenty of time, and they have now got themselves a scrum feed just outside of the 22. Let's go, says Nathan. And that chap, yeah, that one, it just went straight out of the hands of Bryn Gatlin. They've got Josh Ioane off the bench, so it'll be interesting to see when they decide to go to him. But yeah, anyone who is new to this channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I should mention also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport. I will put the chat link in there as well. One moment. There we go. We'll go like this. We'll go like this and like this. Be sure to check out this channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is our other YouTube channel, and we have got plenty more videos coming up on there, including, I believe we are going to be doing the matchup between New Zealand and Costa Rica that is coming up for the football, and also a few of those other matches that are part of other sports that we are going to be covering in the near future will be going up on there as well. One moment. We'll go like this. A little knock on there from the Waratahs outside of the 22. And now it does mean that we are going to have another scrum feed. So ever since we jinxed the scrums, yeah, as I said, I jinxed it. Now here comes the scrums. And also we got their origin. Yep, that is also where that is going to be over on that Kiwi Lad Sport channel. So be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to be doing State of Origin over there as well. It's a good shot from Quintapai initially. Should cannabis be decriminalized or legalized? There's Justin. I think, who was I talking to the other day? Someone was telling me about the fact how, like, if New Zealand want to make more money, you just legalize it because you make a whole heap. Of course, there are the positives and negatives of doing such a thing. But, like, if you want your economy to boost, like, I know that there's plenty of people in the country who are doing it anyway, who would just do it again. Really, but that is going to be now a free kick to the Chiefs. They may consider a scrum feed. Oh, Brad Weber. Well, in fact, it's Bryn Gatlin has taken it quickly and kicked it down the field. It hasn't worked out, though, as Ben Donaldson was back there rearing to go and ready to take it. And now they're going to be under pressure here, the Chiefs. Inside of their own 22, Brad Weber passes back into the pocket to Amoni Narawa. Kicks it downfield. Taken nicely near the touchline from Nawa Kwanerawasi. Now Edmund passes off to Alex Newsom. It's a loose ball. Better Kasawa Kola. Good hands there to be able to pick it up now. Jacobson finds the offload. Alex Nankerville ball on the outside to Amoni Narawa. That was forward. And it is now going to be the scrum feed for the Waratahs. So, yeah, plenty of scrums coming in the next little while by the looks of it. Oh, was it an initial knock-on from Luke Jacobson from the get-go? Possibly could have been there. But I should mention as well, ladies and gentlemen, myself and George very soon will be starting the Kiwi Lads podcast once again. It is coming back. He has decided that is the way that he wants to go with it. So we are going to be doing a Kiwi Lads podcast. So we don't actually know completely what we're going to talk about on there. I know that there's going to be some rugby, some sport, but then also a few other random things I think will get thrown in there. So be sure to have a look out for that in the near future as well. There is a very loud man told Hooper to shut up. Says Dov and also waking up late in Sweden because stupid COVID. Good to see my Chiefs doing well, says Bilder McLeod. And there's also hopefully have you got it yourself, Bilder McLeod? Because if you do, hopefully you do recover very quickly and are resting up and keeping I guess as well as you can at this stage. And also have you noticed how expensive food and petrol? And there says Justin, yeah, pretty much to eat or to fill your car to drive anywhere. It's now costing you an arm and a leg. But Jake Gordon going to the short side off to Angus Bell. And yes, very mild. And those podcasts are hilarious. So here's David the Moss. So yeah, they are going to be coming up very soon. It's going to be myself, George, and then maybe occasionally Daniel and Isaac will be able to come on for some general chatter. I guess it will be. It's just going to be pretty much us messing around for an hour and a half or so, or maybe an hour, somewhere around there. And also the Chiefs are doing great. Go boys, thumbs up. You guys, let's walk away with the guys. Says Chris in there. That's going to be the penalty now to the Waratahs. 56 minutes through currently. And not releasing the ball. So Dylan Beach once again wins the turnover. We'll love a podcast. Download it. It's something to listen to on the plane. Says Sebastian. Where are you flying to again, Sebastian? Are you going back to England? Maybe? And also, we'll get there. Is Bryn a real name? Or is it misspelled? Brian? Bryn is a real name. I don't know whether or not it's like a shortened version of Brian. I don't think it is, though, because Bryn Hall, Bryn Gatlin, we've got quite a few Bryns now that I think about it. So, yeah, it's just kind of a little short one. Yole based in Timmers Hard. And there, as I says, Matthew, a little bit south of Timaru. So, yeah, we got, I guess, that's the thing with South Canterbury playing up against Hawke's Bay. It's going to be an interesting one to see how it goes, but we will be covering it on the channel. Maybe some banter, says Justin there, and also podcast. Let's go, the Kiwi Lads. And there says Nathan. So I think George's idea at this stage is it's either going to be going up on the Kiwi Lads gaming channel or the Kiwi Lads sport channel. One of those two, I believe, is where it's going to be, because it's going to be a little bit more uncensored than the main channel type thing. So George will swear flat out like a trooper, probably, more than likely. That one's gone backwards from Paddy Ryan. Oh, that's harsh. So that's the knock on. But Paddy Ryan, he has not had a dream season. He's had yellow cards. He's had knock-ons. He's had all sorts. And now my cats decide to come over. Come on, then. There you go. And also we got there, Bryn is a Welsh name. And then as well, says Johnny. And also they forgot the A. And also we have got there, I just destroyed my weekend, the reffing a tens tournament in the Netherlands and there as well. And now he also got there, I need to pay a visit to Norway, but our oil company is building a partnership there. Oh, fancy. So I'm not sure what day that he has decided that he does want the podcast to come out, but I know that it's a near future type venture. So be sure to check it out when it does end up coming out, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know whether or not I don't know whether he's got plans of putting it on Spotify or whether it's just a YouTube one at this point in time. I have no idea. I'll have to ask him. And also we have got there Chiefs for the win, says Justin. And also we have got there says Sebastian, for the company. So yeah, partnership with Norway would be pretty cool. Does that mean that you might get an opportunity to think or to maybe, I guess, head to Norway at some stage, Sebastian, rather than just in Romania? Or do you think it will be more of the case of you're going to do the talking and then like the company are going to do a bit more of the walking type thing? Or you're probably going to do the talking and walking, to be fair, and hopefully you get pay rise. And also, Chief now says it was Nathan. And also, I think I'll ask George more big sport questions on the podcast. Says David the Mod. I mean, he can rant when he needs to, George. That will be like, that's the thing. I don't know what the general topics are. I know that we've got a few of them, and I think it's going to be rugby and sport, but then also a bit of other stuff. So I don't know what the percentages are going to be. Wait, so Gatlin gave his son a Welsh name. That's funny. Says Gareth there. I guess that makes sense now that I think about it. Warren Gatlin, of course. Currently, time in the opposition 22. Actually pretty even. About 3 minutes apiece. Now, 59 minutes gone in this game. It's kind of hit a stalemate of scrum after scrum and line out after line out. But now it's going to be thrown in by Dave Parecki. Taken nicely by Jed Holloway. A lot of pressure on him, though. In fact, it's gone into someone else's hands. Where's that ball ended up? Okay, that's about halfway down, and also we have got the meeting company directors and such. I always get nervous, says Sebastian. I guess that's the thing. Like, the thing to remember is if you're nervous, like, at the end of the day, you're probably going to be all, like, dressed to impress, I'd assume. So, like, you're the big dog, but they are also a big dog. But, like, dogs normally get along relatively. That was a weird analogy. I think you'll do fine. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, and hopefully it does go all right. Do let me know how it goes after it takes place. When are you heading over there, Sebastian? I think Brennan spent more time, if not born there, says it was John E. And also, I have my shift at Macca's on Tuesday. Awesome. I mean, job's a job at the end of the day, so it will be good to get yourself some extra payday in there. And also, come on, Chiefs, hold it together, lads, says Desley. And I'm just thinking back to what happened in that game between the Chiefs and the Fijian Drua. Near the end of that match, the Fijian Drua were just absolutely all over it. It's going once again, another free kick. They went too early in the front row. They've said it also. We have got there in the autumn. Still a lot of paperwork to do until then. And also we have got there, are we going to have an all New Zealand semis? It's a good chance, but I kind of want to see one Australian side in there, which means the only Australian side that can make it in is actually the Brumbies after this game, if the Waratahs aren't able to fight back here. The Blues and the Landers go to war tonight without their captain, says Buttermeek. And also we start out talking about rugby, and then we get the best debate, or get into debates about where the best KFC is in the North Island, says David. So yeah, it's going to be like a random, I don't know what his plans are, whether or not it's a live podcast or whether it's like a pre-recorded one. Like, I think it's still a very new venture. All of a sudden he messaged me the other day and he was like, we're going to do a podcast. And I was like, okay, what's it about? And he kind of said maybe like sport. I don't know. So I was like, okay, fair enough. We'll get it sorted and then we'll be onto it. We've got the microphones at least. So that is one starter. And so as I said to my teacher, he tried to roast me, but I said I would rather be blind and then see this mistake. Says a more cake there. That is now going to be going into touch for them. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like, wait, so your teacher roasted you for getting a job at McDonald's, yet he's a teacher. Like, depends on, like, the circumstance as well. But I feel like teachers, like, are supposed to be, like, supportive, if that makes sense. You know? And also the Brumbies, says Nathan. The Hurricanes, says more King, and let's go Chiefs. And it would be nice to have an Aussie team in the semis. But at the same time, I want the Hurricanes to do well, says Sebastian. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? But Vailanu making his way now out onto the field. And, or actually, yeah, that is for Tom Horton, who started. I thought it was Dave Parecki starting at number 2. for this game. So I guess maybe a late change for them. But Summer Penifino getting a bit of strapping on the ankle. He's had a pretty solid game. He's been running hard throughout the matchup. Currently now 19 minutes left in this contest, and also minimum wage makes it worth working in a fast food restaurant, I think, says Justin. Yeah, at the end of the day, you get something you get something to put on your resume or your CV, and you get the side money, teaches you responsibility, discipline. Like, it doesn't so much matter that it's at a fast food place, because at the end of the day, like, if you enjoy it, like, that's all that really matters. Or if you're just doing it for the money, just make sure that while doing it for the money, you do put in a good effort so that, like, you get a good recommendation from it. Because that's the thing at New World or the supermarket, as some people aren't from New Zealand, I just realized, like, working at the supermarket or the grocery store when I was there, like, I loved it. Like, and it was just one of those ones, like, going to work didn't feel like working, even though I was working about 3 times harder than anyone else, because everyone else was doing it just because they wanted to get paid, so they just wouldn't do anything. So I did about 7 different jobs and one each day that I was there. But, like, at the end of the day, if you love it and you enjoy it, you know, you just well and truly commit to it type thing. And also, can you get to eat well? And there says Justin, and also, yeah, McDonald's starting wage is probably more than what the teachers are paid, says John. And also get into affiliate marketing, Hamishes, like some random products during these live streams, like during half times at the games, says Tesla. It's a good idea. I've actually thought about it in the past, because we've done one brand deal sponsorship type thing. And I'd love to think that we can do some sort of halftime show type thing eventually. And also, it's got to be live, Hamish, says David the Mod. So I'll put in a good word for you, David. And if it's not live, I'll at least, like, get, like, the questions from you guys that we can answer on the podcast to make sure that there's some sort of thing in there. And I know Mitchell looking for hundreds today. Yeah, they've turned the game around completely. Well, our minimum wage is 20 grand, $2 an hour, says Gareth there. And also we have got KFC, says Justin. And also kids got his ankles broken. I said, damn, you just got ankles broken. That's just depressing, says Heath. And also we're good there. Come on, Chiefs. You can do this, boys, says Joseph. Currently a bit of a stalemate between these two sides. But I would say a try's just around the corner. Oh, cat's leaving. And also we've got there, and I get 20% off. And there. And also we're going to, hey, David says, Tesla, and also some amazing conversations. Oh, that's a nice offload. Weber scores. What did I just say? Just said that I felt like there was a try coming very soon, and we were at a bit of a stalemate. But now, 63 minutes through, and Brad Weber scored his second of the match. This man steps up when he needs to. And he has done very nicely there, getting himself another try in his Super Rugby Pacific season. Off to Peter Gus Sawakula. And from there, Weber went off to Gatlin. Short pass off to Jonah Lowe. And then some silky skills. And also Hawke's Bay Power, says Sebastian. Also to try, says Tesla. And also can also plug products during the podcast, Hamish, says Tesla. Yeah, maybe. You know, if we end up getting that merchandise and whatnot, we can try and do it as a bit of a sponsored, or not a sponsored thing, but we just mention it. Yes, he's definitely pulling the big bid, putting a big bid in for the All Blacks. And also, is it true that Dalton is out for the Blues? It is indeed. So they are going to have a different player at number 7. More than likely, I would say you're probably looking at who is coming off the bench. I think it's Adrian Choate. So I'd say that Adrian Choate might get the start at number 7. And then off the bench, maybe they go with, who else have they got? Maybe, Anton Segner's injured as well, isn't he? So I was going to say him. But you're probably looking at one of those younger guys like Salfua, someone like that. That one's missed the way to the side for Bryn Gatlin. So the score now is going to be 32-15. And international shipping for the merchandise has got to have it. Like, the fact that, like, or if we didn't have international shipping, I would literally let you order it to my house and I would send it to you. Just because, like, at the end of the day, we've got a few people from overseas. So if it was only New Zealand shipping, I feel like it would be a little bit sad to not have it as a opportunity type thing. Boulevard go Chiefs Tosso, and also we've got there. I got my first item on my bucket list things done. First thing, get a bucket done, says John. Nicely done, mate. As long as you got your bucket, you're gonna fill it with chicken. Because if you are, George would like to see that. And also, task coach be like, and the George emoji. Yeah, thanks. Hamish says William, and also we've got there. Heck yeah, Hamish was cheering for the Chiefs mana. And also when Chiefs fire, they are on fire. Says Justin, and also laughing faces from Nathan. But joining them all incorrectly now, the Chiefs have won themselves another penalty. Currently only 15 minutes left in this contest. And also we have got there, I don't know what happened to Papa EE in there. I think maybe in the training or something like that. It was only recently that he was actually ruled out. I'm going to see what I can find out about him actually. Papa Le'i. Dalton. Okay, you got to actually write his full name. Dalton Papa Le'i. What we got set to miss and in doubt for the All Blacks. We will go like that and like that. I'm just going to move this over to here and we'll see what we can find out about him. For several weeks due to a medical issue. Okay. He's actually had to have keyhole surgery, so that sounds relatively serious for Dalton Pavali'i. So I don't know whether or not keyhole surgery, normally they go in through somewhere near your belly button. I don't want to get too graphic with it because, of course, like people are probably eating tea about now, but pretty much like some sort of almost slightly, I guess, almost emergency surgery. He had a medical issue that is believed to have since flared up, and he is understood to have had keyhole surgery. So, yeah, he won't be about for a little while, depending on the recovery. And also Butterfingers from the Tars. And I got chicken. I just need a bucket. There's Nathan there. That was once again going to be another mistake. Scrum feed in favour of the Chiefs. And it looks like Brady Retallick's got some sort of injury now for himself. In fact, it's another little scratch below the eye. There's a lot of those going on. And second half handling errors, we're seeing 8 from the Waratahs. So you certainly can't win it by, by dropping the ball so often. And also the Three Stooges comes to mind. Our podcast jokes, bruv. And there's us, says Justin. So, yeah, I have no idea where the direction of it's going to go. But, I feel like there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that we want to be able to talk to you guys about, each week that happens. But it's just more that we don't really find the time or a platform to be able to do it. But now I feel like this is the perfect opportunity. And also, I want every team to do well. But there can only be one lose, of course, says Spider Meek. But now it looks like Alex Nankerville coming off with a little bit of maybe cramp or something along those lines. That is for Ramika Poihapi. And also Nathan with our powers combined. Here's John there. Currently now 13 minutes left. And there is currently more than 13 points difference between these two sides. And also we have got there with our powers combined, says John. Yeah, you got the chicken and you got the bucket. Together you could start a chicken business. And will it be true? Chiefs versus Satyrs semi-final? I believe it will be. And that is going to mean that on the other side of the draw, it's pretty much whoever wins that game versus whoever wins. Oh, nice little fin there. Apparently driving forward quite nicely. I believe that's how it will sit anyway, but I will get back to you after the next one. I have the sauce. I like the chicken in the bucket. There you go. It's all becoming quite a nice little combination at the moment. Oh, ball on the ground. Brad Weber with a bit of a handling error there, but he scored 2 tries today, so I'm sure he'll be relatively happy with it. And also we have got the Aussie commentary. Adrovo says, let's go, let the crowd tell the story versus New Zealand commentary. Me, oh my, I enjoyed that. Yes, boy, Bumfa. Of course, Justin Marshall does enjoy a good old Bumfa every once in a while. That's a big Bumfa from, Ngātaua Koi hit him in the sternum, and also great start tonight for New Zealand Rugby. And also, Britain's the Welsh name. Says it was David Beasley there in quarterfinals. It's knockout format. Tars has no choice now but to attack with 15 minutes left. Currently, the Chiefs, they look like they're using that same tactic. They're only about 5 minutes out. Brady Retallick trying to break his way through. I see Ollie Norris. I think he was going to be coming off the bench in the later stages. Also, Bradley Slater. Just had another little yawn. Or at least I thought I saw Ollie Norris. Just looking around once again, little chip in my eye from Bryn Gallen. Has gone over the top of Jake Gordon, who has to force it. And also, we have 11 herbs and spices, but I wouldn't be doing a drug test at Mahi after we'd give it about 2 weeks, says John. And also, Chiefs shall slow down and wait to pounce on the Tars errors. And also, who do you think will win the Super Rugby? Currently, the whole way through, I've said the Blues or the Crusaders. One of those two sides, I think, will be able to get the victory. It's whether or not we see both of them in the final, or whether one gets knocked out maybe in the semi-final or even the quarterfinal. We've still got another game coming up between the Blues and the Highlanders. And, yeah, penalties conceded, 11 against the Waratahs as well. So, really, the discipline and the handling has been the thing that's really let them down in this match. I feel like I'm sitting further to the side than I normally would. Am I? A little bit. They didn't make much of a difference, but we'll go with that. as for now. But I will be sitting way more further to the side when we do end up having our guest for the next live stream, ladies and gentlemen. He will be coming around, and we will be starting at about 7 p.m. So be sure to check that out. Brad Weber now making his way off the field by the looks of it. Looks a little bit disappointed at the moment, but Xavier Rowe making his way out there. 32-15 as we currently sit with 10 minutes left. And also I'm happy for our regulars. Lots of Chiefs fans in our midst. David, also Nob Mum and Johnny. And there's I'm glad that the Chiefs are going to get a win at FMG Stadium while Nob Mum's at the ground because of that last game that didn't quite go their way. I think the last one that she watched was actually the game up against the Brumbies. Now only 10 metres out, or in fact 1 metre out from the line, with 10 minutes left on the clock. Is Xavier Rowe after Peter Gasoa-Kula. He's got it down, and Peter Gasoa-Kula has just been able to get himself the try. You'd have to say that puts the icing on the cake. Soa-Kula. Oh, that's not how you spell it. Here we go. Peter Gasoa-Kula being able to score the try 70 minutes into this game. We'll go like this. And we will go like this. And also Gareth is a Welsh name as well. And this is, it was David and also the try from Tesla. And if they want another try, go Chiefs. They have just been able to do so. And also we have got well. My hopes have been well and truly dashed. Although, plot twist, Brumbies still to come tonight, maybe. Well, there's something there, maybe. And also, Brit as a Welsh name means hill. I see. It's interesting because Bryn Hall and Bryn Gatlin both lack a bit of height, yet they're named after something that's normally quite tall. Interesting. And also, 127 of us here, only 25 likes. Says email choice. So if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. We are on the road to 1,000 over there, and we are getting extremely close. We're currently sitting on 929 over on that channel, so 71 away. And pity to be a bold selection with Ethan and Dalton out. There's Matthew. Yeah, Peter Gasoa-Kula. Maybe he makes his way in. So, but I do hear that Angus Tavo has come off the field, and Atumoli now is out there. Same with Ollie Norris, same with Xavier Rowe. I think the Chiefs have almost emptied their bench here by the looks of it. Trying to spin around Atumoli, already getting his first touch. And also I got 132 and 35 likes on my end. Says Nathan, and also we have got the and subscribe. Says MH Choi. Taken nicely by Edmund, 40 metres out from their own line here for the Waratahs. Now a bit of quick stepping from Dylan Peach, trying to go around. He's trying to duck under tackles as well. It's a tricky one to do. And also, damn, I didn't know Ian Foster is in the crowd. He's been watching this game intently. And I feel like if there's a time to play well, it's this game now for anyone who wants to get themselves selected for the ABs. Pass back across. Now Donaldson goes off to Michael Hooper, finds the offload, but it was forward. Here by a 13 plus for the Chiefs tonight. Happy, but it's a multi. And to be honest, worried about my game, says John. And also we got there, damn. Oh, no, I read that one. And also, do the Chiefs face the Crusaders? They do indeed. I believe if they do end up winning this game, they will go on to the Crusaders. I think the only thing that can change it is if the Highlanders win. That is the only thing that can change it, because then it will be Highlanders versus Crusaders. Hit the like buttons, you tell us this man's consistency is unmatched. See Sebastian there as well. But 7 minutes left at the moment. Xavier Rowe just having a bit of a chat with his first receiver, Joshuani. But yeah, we have got a live stream coming up just very soon. 7:05 p.m. is when the match kicks off. 7 o'clock is when we kick off on the channel. And then we have got our 9:45 game that is coming up a little bit later as well. And also Chiefs victory says it was Justin. And yeah, there's a very good chance that the Chiefs go on to get themselves a win here. It's going to be passed back across Joshuani. Now Imoni Narawa goes off to Bryn Gatlin. Ball on the outside to Lowe. He's put it down, though. He hasn't really had too much of the ball throughout this whole match. And also, we can, guys, if you are here, hit the like button and subscribe, or support this great man. Also, subscribe and get this man up there. I'll also make sure to give a membership for support to get emotes. And there says it was Paddy Wagon, and also Heck says Nathan. And also, your figures look like politician stream numbers more than voters. And also, here the Ewan says Nathan, yeah, more mistakes currently between these two sides in the second half, and doing the job well. Go my Chiefs. Next up, the Crusaders. And as Mr. W bringing pizza and drinks, I don't believe so, but I will offer him a drink when he gets here, more than likely. and feed him if he does require it. But I think he might be having tea with the fam beforehand. Tane Edmund now driving forward. Grant passes across to Noah Kwaneta Wasi. Good run. Dragged down nicely in the tackle. Currently, not a lot of tackles have been missed. That kind of looks like Mitch Jacobson, who is there at number 20. Although I don't know whether or not he was the initial. Oh, no, sorry. Mitchell Brown is who that is. At number 20, I will join up and become a member next week. Says Justin there, and also just jumped on seeing the score right now. But crikey, go Chiefs. Says Mafui. Currently now back across the Waratahs. They just need to find a gap. And Nakwanita Wasi is trying to do just that, but he's been shut down pretty well throughout this matchup. Now Michael Hooper looking to pass it on the outside. Jed Holloway, was it deliberately knocked down? And Moni Narawa actually gave that away because he did look back at Nick Berry and stop running hard because he was assuming that it was going to be the knock on. And if he had just kept on running, they might have at least had another look, but he decided to save the legs there. But the Waratahs support and the coaches, they won't be too happy with this performance. Unfortunately, this will be the end of the road for the Waratahs. And also, you're talking about how many thumbs. And there, as says Nathan, and also we have there, how many thumbs. And also, Tars need 4 computer tries in 4 minutes. Says Tesla, doable. That's what that is. Not really, though. And also, good lad, says Paddy. So they do need another, 24 points difference between them. If they score right at this very moment, even though it's going to be tricky to do. Also, we got there. Can't wait to get my platinum badge 2 months ago. Hey, Sebastian. And at the end of the day, you guys who have those different colored badges, I feel like it just looks absolutely awesome. To see how it changes throughout the months. The gold one looks beautiful, but the platinum one, it's just that extra shininess. Oh, it's a little mistake, a knock on there. Nick Berry, one of the better referees. Let's play. That doesn't affect the game go. Materialism. And there's Bill McLeod, and also we've got there 35 ups in the likes, and also Mr. W has a cool cap, doesn't give too much away, just chills back smooth. And he's a very laid back individual, and I feel like it's one of those ones that probably on live stream, I guess you get to see a couple little traits coming out overall. And with us wearing the suits, I feel like that also just loosens us up. Well, truly, if we were wearing, although you'd think a suit would make us more conscious of what we're doing, but we just kind of go, right, we're in a suit, we might as well just kind of just chill out, really. And also if the Tars course stick together, they could be champs in a couple of years' time and also go the Chiefs. Says Louis there. Yeah, the big thing is all of the players who are going overseas or switching to other clubs for Australian and New Zealand sides. As soon as you lose those players, it always gets just a little bit more tricky. They must have tickle internet. Is yours lagging bad? Or it's your lagging bad? Says Emma showing there. So looking like the end of the road for the Tars. Chiefs early lead in the first half did the damage and the upset Tars strategy. And also Nick Berry is right with all the respect as well. That's a good kick for touch from the Chiefs. Looking like they're just trying to close out this game now with 2 minutes left. Nothing too serious for them. Just with the 24-point lead. You don't want any late injuries. So I wouldn't even be surprised if the Chiefs don't try and contest this one to save Brady Retallick's knees. It was going to be a good win for the boys. I need to pick up after COVID for my 50th, says Bill McLeod. So I guess it feels like an interesting time to say, but happy birthday. I hope you have found some enjoyment out of the birthday. Like you said, the Chiefs winning would have been a nice touch for you. But yeah, hopefully you do feel better and then you can celebrate your birthday out and about in a little bit. And Chiefs looking dangerous, says William. Yeah, they're looking good, and they will be looking forward to their challenge next week of the semi-final. But now passing it back, going to be a good wide cutout pass now. Alex Newsom inside ball to Jamie Roberts. One more to Jed Holloway. It's been knocked backwards. Now Quinton Pye kicks it in behind. And the Waratahs, they're inside of their own 22. They're going to risk it. Ben Donaldson goes across to Dylan Pitch. Unable to get through the defensive line of the Chiefs, and they haven't missed too many tackles. And cheers, happy 50th, Mr. McLeod. And there as well, says Justin. Nice offload there to Hugh Sinclair. He's going kind of by himself at the moment. The wide lobby pass. It was forward, though. Once again, unfortunately. And also, we got Tars. See you next year, Tars. And also, well, I just had a look at that platinum badge. Can't wait either, says David the Mod. And also, we have got there must be my third world internet, says MH Joy. It was a beautiful offload from the ground from, I believe it was Jack Grant, then just going forward. Unfortunately, just a bit of drift. He did try and make it last as long as he could there for Hugh Sinclair, and also Tack. And there's also Bill McLeod, and also Chiefs played a solid game. They did, and it was exactly what they needed to build some confidence going into the next stage, because they had a close game with the Fiji and Drua, which they did want to fire back from it. I think they've done that. And Swedish for thanks. I see. I don't know much Swedish. I only know a couple Swedish swear words, unfortunately. That's about as far as my Swedish words go. But so it's tuck. Tuck. Hopefully I said that correctly. That is the hooter at the moment. So now the ball just needs to go out for the Chiefs. And then that will be the end of the match. They may consider trying to go for one last attack just to try and give the crowd a real cheering point. But more than likely, like if an injury comes in that later stages, you don't want to make that mistake of trying to go a little bit too long. So it's gone in. Xavier Rose got it. He kicks it out. And the Chiefs secure themselves a spot in the semi-final where they will be taking on either the Crusaders or the winner of the match between the Hurricanes and the Brumbies, I believe it is, if the Highlanders do end up losing or end up winning, sorry. But it is also a chance that they will be facing the Crusaders. It's actually still a bit of an unknown who they will be taking on. And also, we get there. Cheers for the stream. And there, as says David. Or sorry, that was actually Big the Big VH show. Sorry. But yeah, at this stage, we are going to have our next live stream coming in 40 minutes time. It will be myself, and it will also be a guest as well. So be sure to tune in for that. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport as our other channel. We have got plenty more videos coming up on in the near future. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.